the new Oxford Annotated Apocrypha and KJV Apocrypha comparison. Inside this video, I'm going to review each book, and we're going to get some additional information from 2 extra books. There's 3 that you're looking at. I'm not going to use volume 2 down here, but I will use the Old Testament pseudepigrapha, volume 1, and the Holy Bible 1611 King James Version with Apocrypha, or with the Apocrypha. But mainly, we're going to look at these. All right. So here are some differences before we get inside the book as we work our way in. As you can see, one's taller, one's shorter. They're both hardcover. Neither of them came with a bookmark. I had to use my own, as you can see. They're both similar shades of red. One has more pages than the other, and one has more information than the other. And we're going to get into all of that a bit more soon. So let me show you the thickness of this one. So this is that thick, and you already know the height and all that. Now this one's a little heavier, but it's not that heavy. It's still kind of light. Now this one's thinner. A lot of you probably know that. And it's lighter. Now, one positive and negative, or just maybe both positives, depending on how you look at it. They're both kind of light. Of course, the KJV Apocrypha is lighter and smaller, so you can carry it probably, well, easier than the bigger one to maybe your job, put it in your locker, read it time to time, or just carry it place to place easier than the bigger one. But you can do that with each because they're both kind of small, but you know, that one's smaller and lighter. All right. Now, let's get into the pages. The differences in pages. The new Oxford Annotated Apocrypha has 380 pages, and the thin Apocrypha has only 156 pages. So you kind of got an idea of, you know, what has, or which one has more information in it. This one. Now, I'll just go ahead and talk about the prices. Maybe I should wait later, but I'll go ahead and get it over with. Now, this one I got at a local used bookstore for only 75 cents. So, hey, it was almost free. Now, this online, if you look it up, I think Amazon sells it for about $18, and you know, I don't remember. It's not 75 cents. It's more. Excuse me. I don't know how much this was. Maybe this was the one that Amazon sells for $18 plus. But I bought this one from eBay, and it was $7.16 total. That was the cheapest out of everything I've seen online. And it was not new. It was in light new condition. Neither of these were new. But this one was in light new condition. You'll see the inside. There was no markings, no highlights. It's really in light new condition. And this one was not in light new condition. It was almost like that, but it was in very good condition used. And for the price, can't beat it. Can't beat it. Okay, so those were the prices. And let's see. Let's look inside. Let's get inside. I'm ready to get in. Okay, so the editors of this one are these people. The new Oxford Annotated Apocrypha, published by Oxford University Press. I'm saying that so fast, I thought I messed up. Now, the KJV Apocrypha, it don't tell me the editors. Maybe it was a group of people, just one person. All it tells me is Cambridge University Press. It gives me more information, but it still don't tell me who edited it. I don't really need to know right now. But while we're in here, you can go ahead and look at the contents. It's the main 15 Apocrypha books you're used to. If you count, you'll see 14 because they have combined Baruch with the Epistle of Jeremiah. That would be 15, but since they combined it, it's 14. But it's really 15. Now, let's go ahead and compare the other set of books in the other book. In the New Oxford Annotated Apocrypha, we have 18 books. You have the main 15 Apocrypha books, the same exact ones that was in the KJV Apocrypha, and you have 3 more. You have Psalm 151, 3 Maccabees, and 4 Maccabees. Okay, now we also have maps, the geography of Tobit, the geography of the book of Judith, and other stuff. And you also have some stuff up here, and it even says geography of the Bible. Okay, so here's an example of one of the maps. In the book of Tobit, you can see Assyria and Nineveh, and that's where they were according to the text in Tobit. Now, if you look at the text, the size is kind of decent. Now, remember the text size. Now, this is the KJV Apocrypha, where it's 2nd Esdras, and it's kind of small or smaller. That's the downside. Now, if you look up at the words Apocrypha, you can see some of it's kind of peeling off, not so clear. But most of it is clear, but that's a downside too. I don't know how much of the book is like that, but I did notice that it wasn't as dark. The ink wasn't as dark, as you can see that is dark. This is, it's on there. The ink is there, but it's like not printed that well. The ink, it's not that dark. I put it that way. It's kind of like they was running out of ink. That's the same as how this one was. The 1611 KJV, it looked like they were running out of ink, and at times, it looked like they was. you gotta kind of guess what some of those words was. This one isn't as bad to my knowledge from what I've seen, but hey, whatever. And I know Cambridge got some money, well, at least I assume. But anyway, so those are some differences right there. Okay, it's study time. So, this Oxford Annotated Apocrypha is a study Apocrypha, and the KJV Apocrypha is not. The reasons I'm saying this is because in the Oxford Annotated Apocrypha, you have footnotes of ancient manuscript variations and other things, and you even have precepts and cross-references to the Old Testament and hidden books. I even see one Enoch that is unique, and New Testament. Okay, and the KJV Apocrypha does not give you any footnotes, cross-references, or precepts. That is not a study Apocrypha. That is just the Apocrypha. So, now that that's out of the way, we're going to get to some mistranslations. And I'm not going to just claim that they're mistranslations. I'm going to prove it. And I'm going to help you see through common sense that it's a mistranslation. And we're also going to get some additional information from the books. What happened during these scriptures? Let's get it. For this part, I'm going to use 4 books. We're going to use the KJV Apocrypha, the 1611 KJV with Apocrypha. We're going to use the Old Testament pseudepigrapha Volume 1 and the New Oxford Annotated Apocrypha. They're all going to be coming from the same chapter in 2nd Esdras chapter 6 or 4 Esdras 6. We're going to read 43 through 52, and you're going to see the variations, the mistranslations, and we're also going to read why that happened and get the history. So let's do that. We'll start with the KJV Apocrypha. So the KJV Apocrypha and the 1611 KJV with Apocrypha say the same thing. So I'm going to read it from the one I prefer, the 1611. Okay, so verse 43. All right. So it says, "For as soon as your word went forth, the work was made. For immediately there was great and innumerable fruit, and many and divers pleasures for the taste, and flowers of unchangeable color, and odors of wonderful smell. And this was done the 3rd day." It's given a recount of the creation story. Humans was not made yet. You'll see that. So 45 says, "Upon the 4th day thou commanded that the sun should shine, and the moon give her light, and the stars should be in order. And gave them a charge to do service to man that was to be made. There it is. It was not made yet. 47. Upon the 5th day thou said to the 7th part where the waters were gathered, that it should bring forth living creatures, fowls, and fishes, and so it came to pass. So remember, the 7th part was where the waters were. 48. For the dumb water and without life brought forth living creatures at the commandment of God, that all people might praise your wondrous works. Here we go. 49. Then did you ordain 2 living creatures, the one you called Enoch and the other Leviathan, and did separate the one from the other. For the 7th part, namely, where the water was gathered together, might not hold them both. But Enoch thou gave 1 part which was dried up the 3rd day, that he should dwell in the same part wherein are 1,000 hills. But to Leviathan thou gave the 7th part, namely the moist, and has kept him to be devoured, of whom thou wilt and when. Okay, so 49 and 51 were the verses where the mistranslation occurred, or translations. We're going to find out why. So this one says the same thing. I'm just going to briefly show you. I highlighted where it says Enoch twice. Okay. Now, out of the Old Testament pseudepigrapha, this is where I found it. So at 4 Ezra, which is the same as 2nd Esther, chapter 6, 49, I'm going to start there. Okay. So it says, it's right here. Then you kept in existence 2 living creatures, the name of one you called Behemoth, and the name of the other Leviathan. And you separated one from the other, for the 7th part, where the water had been gathered together, could not hold them both. And you gave Behemoth one of the parts which had been dried up on the 3rd day to live in it, where there are 1,000 mountains. But to Leviathan you have the 7th part, the watery part, and you have kept them to be eaten by whom you wish and when you wish. Okay, now one says Behemoth, and it make more sense. So this is how I found it out, and we're going to see also in the 1611, it also says it's just on the side. So in 49, when Enoch first occurs, it has 2 lines next to it. On the side, it says Behemoth. There it is. It's right there. So it should be Behemoth, and the KJV 1611 even said that. Sadly, it's not that sad, but it's a downside that the KJV Apocrypha don't have any footnotes. It did not say that. Okay. Now let's find out why it says that. So in the new Oxford Annotated Apocrypha, it tells us why. Let's see what this one says. Okay, so let me go to chapter 6. Not even on chapter 6. Just look at him. We having a yachts moment right here. Just yeah. Give me 5. Yeah. That's how you do it. For the big sale. Just look at him. Who do you think he is? Oh, it's back to the review. Thank you. Okay, so I had to relocate. I am now outside. Okay, so this is why that happened according to the new Oxford Annotated Apocrypha. I'm just going to briefly show you in verses 49 and 51 the 2 highlighted words in the text, which is not Enoch, it's Behemoth. Next to that is a letter B. So let's come down and read what they have for that. Waiting for it to clear. Let me make that clear. Okay, so it says other Latin authorities read Enoch. There's the answer. And under that, we have some additional information. It says the land creature and the sea creature Leviathan are 2 primeval monsters frequently found in Israelite mythology. See the scriptures next to that. And it may even give you something about these scriptures too. I didn't continue to read much. I skimmed it, but that's good to see that it connects the other apocryphal books as well. I like that. All right. The last comparison is in 2nd Esdras or 4 Ezra chapter 7. The New Oxford Annotated Apocrypha has the 140 verses, and the KJV Apocrypha only has 70. So I'm going to show you some additional information quickly in the New Oxford Annotated Apocrypha. So once you get to verse 35 towards the end, you'll see a G before 36 comes in. And when we come down, it says the passage from verse 36 to verse 105, formerly missing, has been restored to the text. Okay, then at the bottom, we have some extra information. Okay, so it says 36 to 105. These verses are lacking from the standard editions of the Latin Vulgate and from the King James Version. They are present in the Syriac, Ethiopic, Arabic, and Armenian versions, and in 7 Latin manuscripts. The section was probably deliberately cut out of an ancestor, I'm just making sure I'm reading it right, of most surviving Latin manuscripts for dogmatic reasons, because the passage contains an emphatic denial of the value of prayers for the dead. I put a side note, Catholics maybe